Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're messing with a old truck that I drug up. I've went and picked it up and dumped it out here in the driveway at the shop. Haven't really looked at it a whole lot or messed with anything on it, but we're gonna see if we can't get it to crank up and see if the motor's any good in it or not. I'm gonna turn you around and show you the truck. All right, here it is. It's a 68 C30. We picked it up. I got it for the Duramax swap truck that we got, the 67 that we done. I got it for the, I'm gonna take the doors off here and put on that truck and stuff. Just a flatbed. It's got a dump on it. I still got the strap on it where I had the doors because I had to haul it backwards. But I dumped it out right here. I was wanting to use the hood on that truck too, but the hood's a little messed up where that piece of chrome goes. And when I winched on the trailer, everything rolled but that tire. And when it hit the ramps, it rolled up on the trailer slowly. It slid and rolled, but then we unloaded it. It just slid again. It wouldn't do nothing. But the doors are pretty decent in it. Somebody's took parts out of it and all. Evidently somebody was messing with it though, because water pump in the floor. So that it probably overheats or it leaks. One of the two. Brake booster. Got a brand new master cylinder in the box, so you know it ain't gonna dang brakes on it. But it's not a bad truck. It's actually really nice up top and stuff too. Somebody's just self-tapped riveted some rockers on there. They cut it on the front and all too, but they just riveted them on. The floor's a little bit bad. And the doors off of the other truck are plenty good enough that I'm gonna put them on here. So that way there's doors back on there, especially if this one will run. Let's open the hood up and take a look at what we got. It's got about everything on it still. New alternator. Somebody's put headers on it. The fuel line's unhooked. It's not a bad looking old truck though. Pretty complete. Let's see what the oil looks like, because I ain't even looked at none of this stuff. It's black. That's better than water. Man, it wasn't all shiny, so more than likely it's gonna be okay. Somebody's done made it HEI distributor too, so that's a good thing. See the PTO on the transmission down there, the shaft for the bed, for the hydraulic pump. Well, I don't see anything in there. No, there's something in there. It's down in there. I can't get the light. I can't get it to show up on the phone, but if I look, I can see the little glare move. So, being this moving, means it's got to have some antifreeze in it, because everything here is still frozen. Screwdriver. Pull the breather off. Quadrajet. This thing gonna be full of nest. It's actually not really bad at all in there. Filters shot, but Actually looks pretty clean. I don't really know much of anything about it. I know an older guy had it, and then he passed away. Then his youngins got it. Then they sold it. Then the guy I bought it from had bought it, and then it was sitting in his field. And then I bought it, and he never heard it run either or nothing. So it's all just kind of a shot in the dark. Dirt dauber's nest. But being HEI is a good thing. I mean, everything, nothing really looks chewed up or eat. Got a bad spot on the firewall there, or it's rusty, but at least it's not a spot that'd be hard to fix. Because I keep thinking, I know this is ahead of, but I'm gonna try and get it to run. And like I said, I got it for the doors and stuff. I actually supposed to be getting a title for it, so that's a good thing. But if it runs, I'm gonna swap the doors and probably come back and fix the brakes on it and just run it around a little bit. But we keep thinking about, me and Dad talked and stuff. The roof's really nice in this truck. So that's one of the downsides to doing what we're thinking. But I think I'm gonna cut the top off because I don't got one. There's one behind that white truck there, and there's one behind that blue truck, but more of these trucks. But being the roof's good in here, thinking about cutting the pillar on both sides and then taking the back of the cab off. So all of this I'll set to the side for something in the future if I ever need it or whatnot. But I think then I can hack up one of the bad roofs and make a cap up here and put back on so it'll hold the windshield. And I got a decent long bed sides that are a little bad but not terrible. They're not nothing you want to put on a truck, but they'll be good enough to cut up. And I think about putting this, because I got like a 85-ish Blazer, put that cab on it, cut the bed sides down, and build one of the first gen Blazers. But that's enough of me talking about everything. Pretty decent looking little truck. Find a battery, so I'm gonna go pull one out of my truck and bring it over here, and I'm gonna find some gas. So we're gonna drop the battery in it and pour some gas in the carburetor. Let's see if it's got a key in it. I haven't even looked at that. Yep, it's actually got a keys that turn. And it all turns and everything too, so it'd be great if it worked off the key and we wouldn't jump in wires. But I'm gonna go drop the battery out of my truck and get some gas, and then we'll be right back. Right. Got the camera set up. Drop the battery out of my truck. And then it don't fit in the battery tray. Maybe this is just crooked then. That gonna reach. Nope. Yep, it reached that way. Very little spark. So that's a good thing. Maybe it's not. Hopefully it won't burn to the ground. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go in here and hit the key and see if it does anything. Means we got a battery sitting here. We got headlights. I don't know if y'all can see that. Move y'all over here so you can see that. So it's got something. Get all that stuff off. make sure it's in neutral. And see if it turns over. Yep. Yep, it turns over, so that's a good thing. I robbed the battery out of the truck, got some gas, and just put it in an old Garrel bottle. That's my tool bag. Let's walk up here and see what we can see here. Set the gas on top of the battery. Real smart. Pull this thing out the way. Set it down here. Make sure the carburetor ain't locked up. Well, there it goes. So it was a little locked up, but and I know that we should have pulled the plugs out and put oil in it and everything. I should have put a wrench on it before we tried to crank it. I just really don't care enough to do it. Fill the bowl up. Dang. Yeah, let's leak it out the side there. Right here, so we got a fuel leak there, but it is what it is. Squirt a little gas in there. And I guess we'll set the camera back here so y'all can see. And I'm gonna go inside, turn you down. That way you can see this. And I'm gonna go hit the switch and see what it does. Bit of attacking to it, but not bad. It's kind of what I expected when I see the HEI in it. It's hard to beat old small block. That is for sure. Well, it went about as easy as I was hoping it was going to go. I didn't think it was going to go that easy because that car, I thought it was going to go that easy too because it got HEI in it and the motor was locked up in it. We got it to move around, but then there's so much shit in the walls. It went up. I don't know if that video's, if I've ever finished it and put it up or not. I don't know. But here lately on the trying to make it run on something we thought would run easy, ain't been, we've had a bunch of locked up stuff. So it's nice to have something that actually does what it's supposed to do. Let's put some more gas in the carburetor. We wasn't spitting nothing out of her from her tank, so I guess we'll have to look in her tank and see if it's even got a tank in it. And I know some of y'all probably don't believe me, but that was the first time I've heard this thing run or tried to mess with it or anything. Which it done what I hoped it was going to do, so that's a good thing. We'll go back over here and hit the switch again. Dang it, I get the gas to not fall over sitting on the ground. Oh. It's crazy how good that quadrojet's idling and stuff. Normally they do really good, but thing starts up and runs like it was just cut off. It sounds good. Got the old school glass packs. I don't know if you can see them. They're right there in the cab. Come out. Actually ain't really smoking or nothing either. I mean, it's some gas smoke where it's cold. bowl run out. Let's see if we spit gas all over the motor yet. Nope, still not spitting nothing out of there. So I guess let's look. Let's cut the key off so I don't kill my battery. All right. Oh, dang. That damn thing is where it seals. Well then. Well, I'd say that the tank ain't no good. I'm sure that we could take it out and, you know, put a chain in there and some gas or some acetone and or some purple power and put it on the back of the four-wheeler and ride up and down the road and drag it around with a chain, but it ain't worth all that. Especially for what it is. Dang seat lean's for. So, I guess. I guess we need to make a fuel system somehow and see if that pump up there is any good. I'm not sure how much hose I have here at the shop. I might have to go to the parts store and get some. I'm glad it runs. Makes me happy. Because now at least I know I got a good motor and everything too. And I didn't know it had the HEI on it when I looked back there when we was looking at it a while ago. That made me feel real good about it, because I mean we could tell somebody had been doing something to it. But all right, I guess I'm gonna see how much hose I have here, because we gotta cut that off and then put a hose from there to a tank. I don't think I got enough here, but I'm gonna go see what I got and then we'll be back. Well, I indeed do not have enough hose, because that is all the hose that I have. 3/8 fuel line here. And that's not gonna make it from there to the bed. I walked around and looked, because, you know, we've tore several of these trucks apart and stuff. And I swore I had a good gas tank for one of these, but I have not seemed to find it. And now that I'm sitting here saying that, I looked to the dang side when I was talking. And let me see if I can get this dang thing to zoom in. There's a damn gas tank right there for one of these. So I'm gonna go over there and, well, let's walk over there together. Let me get this camera turned so that way. See if this is the kind of shape it's in. I'll back y'all back out so you don't feel like you're getting so dang sick. Well, it's rusty on the inside. It's not as bad as the other one. Can't put nothing in it. So I don't know if I want to spend all the time to put it in and it just be junk too. I guess I could pull the sending unit out and see what it looks like. Because I had a good one, but I can't find it. It wasn't this one, but I've looked at like 5 tanks since a while ago when we talked. You know, we got big tanks for newer style stuff, but I was gonna just run the hose down the side here into the bed, but I might can go under the cab and look at it. I guess let's get on the ground and look and see how that hose, the metal line, looks. Because if it looks okay, we'll be able to go from there. Yeah, we won't be able to dump the bed, but I'll be able to put the can, and I'll have enough hose to hook from the metal line to the can. Then, I mean, it should, once we finally get it primed, it's gonna suck sucking uphill, but it's gonna be so much higher. It still should be fine. I don't know, let's get on the ground and look and see what the metal line looks like underneath. Well, I still haven't made it all the way under because I'm about too dang fat to fit under the frame here to see over there where the hose hooks up at. But I glanced. The bottom of this truck looks pretty dang good. From most of the shit we take apart's pretty rough, but this truck's actually pretty decent for what it is. PTO shaft going back. I said it was a dump bed, and it's a wood dump bed, and somebody put aluminum over it. But see if I can get y'all in here so y'all can see what the fuel line looks like, and then I can look at the camera and see what it looks like. Well, it's all greasy, which is a good thing, I guess, because, you know, if it's greasy, normally it's not rusty, but it's not saying what's in it. But I'm gonna have to get this thing jacked up some so I can get under. You can see where it goes right there. They had a filter, so that tells us that the tank most definitely was junk, because they had a filter there too. But I almost think we can hook there and unhook it in the front, because we need to change that little piece of fuel line in the front, because if not, our luck, when we crank it up, it'll blow that little piece of line out and spray it on the dang header and burn it to the ground. So it needs to be unhooked and replaced up there at the fuel pump anyways. And then that hose that you just saw, I guess I need to get fault underneath this thing, get it raised up some so I can get there, hook a hose and a clamp, and then we can run it up to the top of the bed. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unhook the hose under here and then unhook it under the hood and blow through it, make sure air goes through it, and then we'll hook the stuff back up, and then before we hook it to the carburetor, we'll let it run and let it go that way. That way we get some gas pumped out, and then we'll put it in the carburetor. But all right, I'm gonna get out from under here and go find the jack so I can get this thing raised up so we can mess with that fuel line. Well, I lied to you because I thought I had enough hose on this roll, but when I hold it there's no way that that's gonna hook under there and route up and be able to go up here and go down in that tank. So I gotta go get some hose, and then we'll be back. I gotta do a couple other things before I go to town on some other stuff. That way I can get a couple parts, because I'm get a little bit from town. So shortly when I go to town, I'll pick up some hose, and then we'll be back and we'll be putting the hose under there and try and get it where it's got a tank so it'll sit here and idle. And then once we get it to idle, we'll see if we can't put it in gear and see if it moves some, and then figure out why that tire over there is stuck. I'm not too concerned about brakes. We can drive it around and up through the woods and everything and feel it shift and all, and then decide if I want to spend the time putting the brakes on it or if that's going to be something that we do later. Y'all just have to let me know if y'all like watching this kind of stuff and think I should do more vehicles, because, you know, we got Nova there that I drug up. I ain't ever heard it run. I actually bought it from the original owner that bought it brand new in 71 and drove it to high school. I mean, we got all kind of stuff. A bunch of them cars over there, I'll buy them. And then where we do a bunch of other stuff, haven't messed with them. They've been unloaded and then just put in a line with skid steer, and they set until we get to them. But, you know, y'all want to see some more of these videos, we can actually do some stuff like that and get some of them running. I know if we mess with that Nova, we're going to make it where it drives, because I actually want to mess with it and make it drive and stuff, so that way I can start driving it around. But I'm going to go do some stuff, and then I'm going to go get some hose, and then we'll be back and we'll finish up the fuel system. All right, went to the parts store. They didn't have no more hose, so I replaced a little piece at the top. And what you didn't see, we put gas in it, made sure that the pump was pulsing on our finger, so we know the pump's actually pumping. We're going to change that piece of hose up there, so that way that's good. Blow this metal line out. Then we're going to take this, put our gas in it, and we're going to ratchet strap it to the side of the frame right here. Then I'll have enough hose with what I got to run it, because I won't be going to the top of the bed. And then the bed is still dumped too, but I can ratchet strap it to the side of the frame. And we'll have 5 gallons. So that's going to be what we're going to do. I wish the part store just had hose, because then we could have just run a hose and put it on the bed. But they didn't have no 3/8 hose unless it was fuel injection, and then, you know, it's way higher. So we're moving stuff. We can pull a skid steer out here and push this in there on the floor, so I can jack it up with floor jack, get underneath it, and then I'll be in there with the air hose and everything too, so we can get this fuel system made up. And we may, while it's in there, instead of just putting ratchet straps on the side, I may weld 2 pieces of angle so that way it sets on it. But we'll probably just ratchet strap it for now. And then also, with it being on the concrete and I got the jack, we'll pick up the front tire on that side and see why the brakes is stuck on it, and then go from there. Maybe we can get it to move. But I'm gonna go sweep the dirt and all off the floor, and then we're gonna push this thing in there. So when I get this cleaned up and we get it pushed in here, then we'll be back. That's good. Alright, well, we got it in here, and as soon as we started pushing it, the tire rolled, but then when it hit the ice, it'd slide. And when we first come in here, it was sliding too, but it's rolling, so it's not too locked up. So maybe it's just a little bit of rust on the rotor in there. I mean, on the drum, not the rotor. And the shoes is sticking a little bit, so. But it's in here now. So we're gonna get it, we'll get the floor jack over here and get it picked up so I can fit underneath it, so I can get to that fuel line. And once I get it hooked, I'm not gonna drag you under the truck and stuff, let me set up, showing me change a hose. That's pretty common stuff. I'm gonna change this loop down here because it's gonna be hard to video anyways. You ain't gonna be able to see me. And I'll get the loop hooked up to the back. And then when the hose is out, then I'll bring you back and we'll be tying it to the frame and stuff so we can get the tank mounted. But I'm gonna get that done and we'll be right back. All right, we got the hose tied in. I just put a zip tie on it there. So I put a line-up bar on the hose so it stays straight. And I put some gas in the jug, and ain't a whole lot. Put this down in the bottom. So that's sitting there now. We'll make sure that it's gonna pump run like it's supposed to, and then we'll put more gas in there before we tie it up. I'll fill them. All right, a little gas in there. I gotta hook the battery up there, hang on. I don't think I put it in gear when we rolled it in here, but all right, go for it. I just put this piece of hose and hooked it back. I left that U down there, but probably had to do this a couple times, but I'm gonna fill it up again. I'll make a mess while I'm doing it. All right, go for it. Feel like it picked it up. I think it was starting to pick it up before it cut off a second ago. Yeah.
Another rat turd.
Yeah. I'm gonna let me go grab a screwdriver. I'm gonna aisle it up a touch so that way we can let it get, because it ain't been running, ain't no telling how long. I guess damn screwdriver ain't good. All right, try it. Maybe it ain't picked up yet, because I didn't really hear a squirter when I was.
Okay.
I guess I had enough gas in the can back there, because I thought it was running longer than the.
Yeah, let's try it one more time.
Hang on, I'm filling the bowl up. Is that what you was meaning? All right. All right. I almost wonder if I ain't. You'd think there's plenty of gas in there to do what we're doing. You wouldn't think it'd be sucking to the bottom of the jug. I'm gonna let this side of the truck down. I got it jacked up. But I may have to do something. It might be sucking to the bottom of the jug. Let me fill it up again, or?
Yeah, I think so.
I moved it. Yeah, I mean, I ain't. But I moved it inside the jug, so maybe it'll. All right, try it.
Started revving it up so it would pump a little harder.
Yeah. It's either sucking in the bottom, or I guess I need to make sure that filter
off the top and see if we got anything pumping up there.
So I'm gonna get a bottle. I'm gonna take that off and see if it squirts in the bottle to make sure that it's doing that. Because if it's doing that, then we'll have to pull the filter out of the front of the carburetor. So I'm gonna get a bottle and we'll be back. All right, we unhooked it. I put the bottle there, but I went ahead and screwed the filter out. And as you can see, that is what's inside the housing. Where did I put that little, here's the little filter. Get it to focus. The little filter's pretty dirty. We're gonna just spray some carburetor cleaner inside there to blow it out, and then I'm gonna just put it with no filter. For now, being we're running out of what we are, there might be a little trash or something get in there, but more than likely, if there's something wrong, I'm gonna have to tear it apart anyways if it ain't wanting to work. Because if we can get it run this way, then we can go buy a filter and put it back before we drive it much. But we're gonna clean that stuff out, clean this out, screw it back on, and then we're gonna crank it and make sure that the pulse from the fuel pump does look good. I'll bring you back when we're gonna do that before we put it back together. All right, we got that screwed back on, but the hose still ain't hooked up. It's in here so we can see how it pulses. All right. It's not picking up no fuel. It's not shooting up. Alright, well, we're gonna do that a couple more times till we get fuel. Alright, well, I put some gas down the hose so it'd go back to the pump. Filled the carburetor up again, stuck this bottle on there, and it still wasn't wanting to pump, and then it spit out some, and as you can see, all the trash that's in that. So the U that I did not unhook down there, we're going to unhook it. We're going to pull the hose back out of the tank back there and blow from it forward, so it'll blow any of the trash out of the line out, and then mess with the pump and see if we can't keep getting it, because it's spitting out. So I mean, it's got to be doing something, and it'd be nice to use it and not have to replace it so we didn't have to spend that money. But we're gonna clean the line and make sure it's flowing like it's supposed to first, because it may be half stopped up, and that's our problem. So we'll go unhook that hose, pull it out of the back, blow air through it, and if it's not blowing air through it, then I guess we'll have to run another line. But we're gonna do that, and then we'll be back and we'll tell you what we figured out. All right, I unhooked the U down there. I blowed back through there, through the pump. Got a little bit of shit out. I unhooked the fuel line in the back and blowed, and you can see the shit that blowed out of the line. So I guess it was like it was clogged up maybe, because you see the big chunks of shit there. All that back there is where it fell out of the cross member, but you got a pretty good amount of stuff out. So I'm gonna put a new piece of hose on there, put the hose back in the tank in the back, and see if we can't get it to pump up top again. And if we can get it to pump, then we'll go back to hooking it to the carburetor to try and get it run that way. Then I'm gonna get that piece of hose put on, and then we'll be back. All right, I got that piece replaced, and that's the hose that was on there. But, you know, I said I was gonna replace it, and then I was lazy and didn't replace it, so it needed to be replaced anyways because it's hard. But now that's replaced, so we're gonna try and get it primed up again, because now we know everything's blowed out. Try and get fuel out of here so we can get it into the carburetor, and then we'll be back. All right, we've been messing with it for a little while. The other fuel pump was not pumping. It would pulse on your finger, and I took it out and pumped it, and it'd do a little bit, but it wasn't strong enough. So we put another fuel pump on it and got everything, but we're still, it's not wanting to run. But if I do, you can see it. So we got pressure here, where I took that clamp off, and that's why it's spraying fuel. So evidently, when I took this out a while ago, I took the filter out of it, but evidently the port right in here is stopped up and not letting it, or the needle's stuck in it. So we're probably gonna mess with it for a second, unhook the stuff, and I'm gonna beat on it and probably buff it with air inside of it to see if it's something that way. But we're probably some trash, probably, because as rusty as everything was, is probably what's in it. But we're gonna keep messing with that some, and when I figure out what the problem is right here, I'll come back and tell you. But at least we got fuel up here to it now, so we're gonna do that and then we'll be back. Alright, I took the fuel hose off and I put the air chuck on it like it was feeding, and put air pressure to it and tapped all over on the carburetor with the hammer, and then you heard it pop because it hold air pressure, and when I was tapping around and beating on it, it let it pop loose. So evidently we had some trash at the needle and it let it pop by. We let it sit here and run, and it run a little bad to start with, and we revved on it for a few and all, and sucked some of the trash out of it evidently that I'd popped in it. It's still not running 100% right because I think I got a little bit in it still, but it sits here in idles and everything now. So worst case, we get it where we can get out here and drive it, and then if it don't clear up a little bit, get heat in the motor and everything like it's doing, we'll pull the carburetor apart and find out what's stopped up in the end that's making it like this. But it's probably a little jet that's stuck or something, or stopped up. But we got the big clog out. But evidently when we've done the stuff with that other pump, it got a little bit of trash at the needle. But the truck sounds good. And it's got to have oil pressure because it's not knocking and ticking. So all the valve train bracket that we heard earlier today, where it's got oil pumped up now, it's all good. Hear the little bit of stumble on this side, but I think that's all we're gonna do to it for tonight. And then I guess tomorrow, which we may still tonight, go ahead and pop the, find my screwdriver. We're gonna do that now and see. Dry, but it's pretty clean in there, so we'll wipe that out, put some brake fluid in it, and see, push on the brake and see where our leak's at, because evidently we got a leak, so it's that way. But and I think this tire's gonna free up some, but more than likely we're gonna have to put a wheel cylinder in it anyways, because that's probably where our leak's gonna be, is in that one, being that's the one sticking. But I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a few and find some brake fluid. Then we'll be back and put some brake fluid in it and see if we don't see some leaks, and then we'll probably call it a night. That way I know if I need to go get something to fix, you know, what part we need for the brakes. But I'm gonna find some brake fluid and then we'll be back. Alright, I wiped it out, filled it up with brake fluid. Dad had to bump the pedal one time because it was a little stuck, and then he's eased it down and backed up a couple times, and it's bubbled, but it's got where it ain't really letting the button down before. And so far, I ain't seen it on the floor yet where exactly it's gonna be leaking. But you said it feels like it's got a little bit of a pedal now.
It's got a pretty decent pedal. It probably don't open in, it gets really stiff.
So that's a good thing.
Feels like a good brake pedal.
We still gotta get this tire where it rolls a little better. which I almost think if we got it out on the road and started moving it, that it would free up. Because the wheel cylinder probably leaks in this one, and it's got the stuff rusted up inside the drum some, is what I would assume. But could just be a little tight rust from setting or whatever too. We let it set here, and thermostat opened up and all, and I idled it back down just a touch. So yes, we're getting ready to try and ratchet strap the tank up, and then we ain't gonna try and drive it tonight, that way in case something happens it ain't in the damn dark. But I guess we're gonna do a couple of them things, and then tomorrow you'll see us back and we'll try and see if it ain't gonna want to drive some. Clutch works in it. He pushed the clutch, put it in gear, eased off the clutch, and then try and move some. But like I said, this tire don't roll very great, so just easing off forwards and backwards, so at least the clutch ain't stuck. But we're gonna top the brakes off again, put the cap back on it, tie the tank up, and then tomorrow I guess we'll be back and we'll try and drive it again and see if that ain't gonna free up some, or if we got to do something to it. And then once we move it and work the brakes a couple times, we'll probably see where our leak's at and know what we got to fix in it. But surely it's got a leak, it didn't just evaporate. But we'll see y'all again in the morning. Well, we decided we'd back it out of the shop tonight. I put the tank on the frame. You're good over here. Straighten up. This tire's rolling, but it's just stiff. But for a truck that ain't no telling how long it's been setting, it's doing pretty decent, I guess. But I guess we'll see y'all tomorrow when we go down and try and drive it down the road and stuff. But I think the tire's freeing up a little bit. But I just ratchet strapped the, I know you can't see it good. But yeah, it's starting to free up. But we're probably gonna do this a couple more times, and then we're gonna park it for the night. And then we'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll drive it up and down the road and see how everything goes, and see if we can't figure out where the leak for the brakes is at. Trying to get the bed to dump. We messed with it last night in the dark and it dumped, but I couldn't see it on the video. It's like the cylinder's low on fluid too, but yeah, I got it. Yeah, where this got the little drive shaft on to it.
That's all we got for now.
So I guess it was enough to dump some hay off. I almost wonder if, like you said, because it's creeping up when you do that, so it's like it's low on fluid. But that's about all it's got there. Comes back down fast though. Alright, it fired right up again this morning. It actually, the float stuck a little bit and it was pushing gas out of the top of the carburetor, but while it was running I just tapped on it and it quit spitting out. So I put a thing of water on the inside so in case it catches on fire we got something to put it out with, and then I brought the hammer too so we can tap on it. It has a little bit of brakes. It seemed to do okay. Last night we run it back and forth up and down the hill, and it got where it would roll down the hill. So that was all good. Put a little air in the back tires, helped it kind of push the shit too. Ground's a little slick. And then pushing that tire that's not wanting to move the greatest. Because I screwed up. My truck's in the middle of the other driveway, so we couldn't get out. And I didn't want to take the battery back out of here. So we'll open the gate up and then we'll be right back. Still ain't running 100% right. Yeah, there it goes. It's that brake being stuck on the front don't help nothing. But I think the sticker over there on the window is punched. I think it says 2002 or 2001.
See, January.
It's been set. Have to take the brake apart. So I don't know, it might keep freeing up some. The carburetor's definitely not right in there.
How far you want to go?
Let's turn around. The chicken house is up here.
You go back down to Jamie's?
I guess, yeah. And then it'd be right. So we're staying right here by the shop. So if we got to walk in on the car.
Actually, getting a little better.
Which, I mean, it is cold too. And then, you know, I blowed that shit through the carburetor and didn't clean it, so, you know. Got half of one of them breaks. I felt it rocking sideways when you was pushing on it.
It's actually freed up a lot.
Good this way. It is rolling a little better, ain't it?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, working the brake and running it down the roads. I feel like I'm gonna wind up having to take the carburetor apart. Blowing the shit through it made it run and made it move, but it ain't.
Get one more gear. We're going downhill now.
Yeah.
Get high gear.
Maybe. It's there. It don't like it, but it's there. But for something that's been setting and ain't been run or nothing, still can't really argue about any of this.
Get it better now, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then we're probably going a whole 30 mile an hour. You run through the stop sign.
Yeah. Good thing I'm trained in driving without brakes. Something I picked up as a kid.
Because none of this shit had brakes because there's old drum brakes.
See, we get in the dirt and we get her slowed down real good, like.
But the little bit of brake, use the gears to stop it. I think the little bit of brakes that we had last night, it was leaked out on the ground. I didn't even check the fluid.
It definitely got the wheel freed up, though.
Rolling over there. You can barely see it moving in the. Well, it runs and it drives. It halfway stops when you gear it down. and the carburetor needs to be cleaned up.
Now if we can make it back up the hill, it's gonna be the deal.
I don't know if it's gonna go through that mud back up there. I think it's slide into the damn trailer. See, look, it's got some brakes. If you put both of your feet and all your weight on it, and it still creeps through it.
There we go.
Yeah, it stopped then. Well, it made its trip down the road and stuff, so I guess this one's a success on that side. It's better than the last couple we've tried to make run that's been locked up. But I guess that's where we're going to end this one off. If you want to see us do something else to the truck, I ain't sure. We bought it to take the doors and stuff off, but I don't know. We may fix the brakes on it and leave it together and put that cab on something else later. But that's going to be it on this video, and we'll see you on the next one.